All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Sorry about the mess. Try not to let that bother you. And just know I'm going through a very major transition in my life. So, this is a pick a card reading for specifically those of you who are in some sort of separation or no contact or singles, if you've yet to meet um, a connection of sorts. So, this is a love reading about how that person feels about you, as well as just what is the energy between you and that connection, maybe what is causing the separation and things like that. So, this was suggested to me by a lovely subscriber of mine. So, I hope this resonates with you specifically since you were the one who suggested this reading. And I hope this resonates with um, with as many people as possible, pretty much. So let me just move this slightly. Again, my apologies about everything. But because I'm officially in this major transition in my life, if any of you would like to know, I've been telling the channel that I had a major announcement for the channel for when we reach April. And so that major announcement is that I'm moving. Woo! So my room is usually a mess anyways due to the circumstances and just everything. But now it's extra messy because I've been packing and getting things out of the room. That's part of why I don't have the setup that I had before. It wasn't that good of a setup. It was a chair with a t-shirt on it. But anyways, I put that chair and packed it up so it's at my new place, and this chair will be at my new place once I'm fully transitioned over there. And I think you all will really like my new setup. So anyways, we've got 3 readings, 1, 2, and 3. Go ahead and go right to the description box below to choose your reading. If you've got certain connections on your mind or you would like to listen to multiple messages for any reason, feel free. And I truly do hope that this resonates with you. All right, for those of you who chose reading number 1, let's look into your connection. So first, we're just kind of look into how you might be feeling about this person, if that's applicable, and how they might be feeling about you. So we've got the King of Swords and the Eight of Pentacles. I feel like those of you who chose reading number 1, you know that this person's got work to do, pretty much. And that you've been very straightforward and honest, if this is resonating, and that you know what you want, and you know that you want this person to do the work. You want this person to really make the effort, because maybe those of you have a lot of history. Um, this person could be an air sign. This person could technically be an earth sign. They don't have to be just these signs, but some of you out there might really resonate with that message. Yeah, so that's what I'm getting for how you feel about this person and how this person feels about you. They're unsure at first, is what I'm getting. The Two of Swords and the Page of Pentacles. I kind of figured there'd be a balance between uncertainty and like gratitude there. So they like don't know what's true anymore. They don't know how to make up their mind. They really don't know what to do. I'm sorry. This is very sad. Um I'm not meaning this in a like I'm not trying to mean this in any sort of condescending way. I just think it's kind of cute almost, but like because I can relate to this sort of vibe. Again, you might be an earth sign or they might be an earth sign. Again, we get earth and air here. But yeah, I'm mostly picking up on air sign energy here, and that like both of you are very focused on the material world. You're both taking the material world pretty seriously at this time, which can be important at times in life, especially in this world that hyper focuses on materialism. So in order to survive, we sort of need to focus on it at times. I mean, this world never really gives us a break on that in that regard. But anyways, I'm just getting like how this person feels about you is, again, they don't have confidence on how to make the right decision here, because they feel like if they make a decision to come towards you, because I feel like they want to. I feel like they want this connection with you. They want like to offer you a new beginning, but they're worried. Like I feel like they don't want to make a decision here because they feel like if they try that, it's going to be obvious that they still have not done all the work on themselves that they need to do to really heal. And then if they don't, then it's like now they're keeping you waiting and you wait for no one, you know? And now they're also proving that they have work to do because they don't have the basic confrontational skills to just simply be respectful and approach you. So I'm definitely resonating with this message. So if I'm projecting that onto any of you out there and you're like, this isn't my message, perhaps reading 2 or 3, perhaps there's something in here, but I'm just getting how you feel about your person is pretty decisive and how they feel about you is pretty undecisive. And how you feel about your person is that you really want them to work on things. You want to work on things together, perhaps. Like, the King of Swords is a mutual energy. Like, the King of Swords is balanced and fair and pretty much right. Knows the right decision to make, knows the right words to choose, um, the right actions, the right idea. You've got the right idea pretty much about this situation. I think that applies to a lot of you. You guys are all quite intuitive, wise beings, and you've been having to be more logical about this situation. It's like your heart already knows plenty about how you feel about this person. So you've been letting logic kick in and you've been really choosing maybe mind over heart in a sense, but in a harmonious way. Your mind is listening to your heart and your mind is like not rejecting the feelings. Your mind is just like helping you keep on focus so that like you can give this connection as much of a chance as possible. So, maybe your heart tells you like to like um really, I don't know. Maybe your heart tells you one thing, but your mind tells you to stay focused and to be patient. So I feel like you're being strategic here, and I don't think that's a bad thing. This person, on the other hand, again, I'm just getting a very immature energy in compared to your energy, just because the Two of Swords here and then the Page of Pentacles are both kind of like um, energies that are like the Two of Swords needs time to grow all the way up to the Ten of Swords, which is difficult and painful, but it leads up to the Page, Knight, Queen, and King of Swords, and those are much more mature energies in the air, in the element of air. Page of Pentacles is like pretty much the very beginning of the maturing process of the person. So I'm just kind of getting like this is sort of their mindset, and I really feel like they don't know how to view themselves, they don't know how to view you, they don't know like what's right and what isn't. That's kind of what I'm getting anyways, but I do feel like they don't know if they should share their heart with you and like their true feelings, or if they should like lock it away, keep it to themselves because they don't want it getting hurt again. They don't want to get hurt. So that's kind of what I'm getting for reading number 1. And then I pulled some cards on like what might be causing this sort of separation or this challenge. For you, it's the Six of Pentacles. What's causing the separation for you is that it was unfair. The situation is one-sided in terms of efforts. It feels like you are putting in all the effort and really trying and really putting everything together to make it work for everyone. I think this is just a thing that you do in your life, and I don't think there's really anything wrong with the amount that you're willing to give to a situation or to your loved ones or to this person. The issue is the person not giving an equal amount, and therefore undervaluing you, underappreciating all the efforts that you've put in. Because if they were really mature, they would see that, like, to live in a state of gratitude would be to not disrespect the one person who's giving all of this real loving energy, real effort, real resources and support. Like, I feel like you've offered this person the world. Maybe you're only in one of the beginning stages because, again, you've got the Six of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles. You don't have, like, the King of Pentacles on your side of things or anything like that per se. Some of you might be really, really solid financially too, but I'm just getting, like, if any of you, even if you are only in some beginning stages, that you can logically see how you provided a lot of physical stability in this person's life, whether it was like housing or like helping them with food or like you just know really good health tips that this person didn't know about. Like, the knowledge and the resources that you had to share was like life changing for this person, and their health improved because of it, I think, for a lot of you. Or you have this potential to have that type of effect on someone, on this person. And even though you have that potential and have a lot to give, and some of you, maybe you may not feel that way. Some of you might feel lacking in some regard. And I think that is, in terms of why that would cause something here, like a separation, would be saying that you've got something within yourself to heal. But for the most part, reading one, I feel like, yeah, in terms of your end of what's causing the separation, I'm basically getting nothing. Like, I feel like it's this person that's creating some energy there. So let's see what, on their end, what's causing the separation. The Two of Cups. I feel like exchange, rhythm, unification. What's causing it for them is that they're pushing you away. They are running away from the situation emotionally, and they're also like laying back and not putting in the efforts. They're like, okay, this is getting I don't think these are their exact thoughts, but it's like, okay, this is kind of funny. Like, the more I like and like float back, the more I do that, which is so effortless, the more this person swims after me. Like, ew, I don't know. And I don't think that's the mindset of everyone out there. I'm just getting that, like, energetically, what's causing this is like, they basically get to not put, they basically get to do nothing and like breathe and work on healing as they watch you really struggle to like put in all of this work, which is like, in my opinion, very disrespectful. So if that resonates with any of you, but we're going to just go ahead and clarify. So clarifying your Six of Pentacles, we've got the Two of Wands, which is like, this is saying what might be creating this energy are decisions that you've made, and that also at this point, that for things to really, for the scales to balance out, that you need to give this more time. So something on your end is like needing to let this connection grow, let it be, and like it's like you might be overwatering the plant, so to speak. You know? It's like if you water a plant and the soil is covered in water, and then you were to water it 10 more times over, it's like that's not going to be good for the plant, you know? So I'm just kind of getting for you that, like, try to be more patient with this situation. And that doesn't mean wait around and stuff, because some of you are like, I can't be patient for this person any longer. And that's basically, there's your answer. Like, don't give any more of your energy into this person then. Um, but generally, this is just kind of like what I'm seeing. We'll pull some advice afterwards. So clarifying their Two of Cups, we've got the Nine of Wands. Oh yeah, they're like avoiding putting any more effort in. It's like they need to really not give up right now, and right now they just don't want to try. And that's what's causing it on their end. They really need to heal. I think they are very deeply wounded, so I don't really think it's all that funny to them that they like the less they do, the more they watch you struggle to fix this connection. I think for some of them what they don't realize is that it's like they feel like you need this person, and I feel like in terms of the world of love, we all need love, so to speak. We all rely on each other from time to time. Like, nobody should ever have to go at it alone, the journey of life. But what this person doesn't realize is that you're doing really well. Like, you're doing well enough to focus energy towards them and to wonder about them and to care about them and to put all this effort or to be willing to provide some sort of stability. So it's like, as they're laying back, basically doing nothing about this situation and kind of thinking that they're somehow that you're the one like learning a lesson here or like exposing you in some sort of way, it's like eventually it's going to become clear to them that they're like quite a damaged individual to think like that in the first place. Um, and yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm just being like harsh and projecting about my own situation, but to be honest, I don't think that's what it is. I do think this is generally the energy for a collective. It's like there's all sorts of people out there, so it's going to scale. Some of your people out there, for those of you listening, are very, very sweet, and they're not laughing at you at all, and they actually feel really guilty about the situation because how much gratitude they have for you. But with the whole collective, there's a whole spectrum of people here going from really grateful to really, really just spitting on the connection and treating it like it doesn't matter. And I think to an extent, many of you listening for reading one, still, no matter where they end up on that spectrum, many of you feel like that because it's like, no matter what their reason is, the way they're treating the situation or handling it is like a disrespectful, immature way to handle it. So I feel like this person is needing to really put in an effort again, and they honestly are trying to avoid hearing the truth because they'd rather feel like they're winning at something than get to end up in a conversation with you where they have to face everything that's been going on. So that's kind of the vibe I'm getting for reading number one. So let's go ahead and pull some advice for you and some advice for this person. Um, We'll pull an advice card just for healing. For those of you who just want to let the situation and move on, we'll pull an advice card for you. And then for those of you who want to have advice on what may help maybe bring this connection together, depending on your circumstances, right? Depending on which of those two boats you fall under or that you're in, So your advice for if you want to sort of move on, disconnect, separate, so to speak, or just advice in general, like you're undecided. We get nebula, theory, ideation, process. So to me, the advice for you is basically just let things take its time. That this situation pretty much is actually going to go somewhere. Like what you want to do from it all will become clear in the future. And I'm just getting like you have everything you need right now. So for those of you who feel like you're held up in life by this person, the truth is you're right where you need to be. Like you're good. Like I'll share a bit of my situation. I was supposed to be moving with this person, and for a while I felt like a lot of my moving circumstances depended on this person because I was right. They did. And in fact, by this person consistently not showing up for me, they definitely played a big role in ruining a good outcome. However, I still managed to pull myself together and bring upon a pretty good outcome. It's going to take more time now. I would have a lot more things moved in if this person were like more mature and like here for me. But even so, I'm actually doing just fine. So I'm getting that's the message for those of you listening, for those of you who are either undecided or want to separate completely from this energy. You want to like cut cords or not feel so connected. Um, and, when it comes to love, we can't really force that and we can't really do that. So there's nothing wrong with how you're feeling. So for those of you who are undecided, um, this is your advice. Like for those of you who are just looking for advice in general, that's your general advice. And then your advice for maybe if for those of you who would like to heal on this connection, or perhaps advice for if there can be like a reconciliation with this connection. Let's look into that. We get the King of Wands, knowledge, ethics, and integrity. This is saying you've got to make sure you're taking action out of a place of integrity. It's going to be difficult, but anytime you take any action out of spite or um, like hate. I'm not saying any of you are doing that, but I'm just saying like anytime that we let our more negative emotions get the better of us and let those be the deciding factor for what we're choosing to communicate and whatnot, that would harm things. But anytime you choose to take action or speak from a place of love, from morals, integrity, and ethics, that would heal and be good for the connection. The other thing, though, the ethics card or word is what makes that tricky because sometimes we're not meaning to be harmful and we want to be, the integrity word. We want to be truthful to how we feel and express that we're genuinely hurt and this and this and that, but we're worried that that would count as negativity. To me, this is saying that I don't think so. To me, this is saying like your shadow side and those more hurt and negative emotions are still important, and what you choose to do with those matters. So let's just get a clarifier on that side of this card. We get the satellite card, support, attraction, and companionship. So that's saying to like seek out support. If this person's not being supportive when you're sharing how you're genuinely feeling, this is to find people who do support you when you share your feelings, like a therapist, good friends, meeting new people. So, when it comes to if you can share lovingly, when you're ready to share lovingly or reach out in a high vibrational state, those might be good times for you to take action when it comes to this connection. For those of you, if it doesn't feel like it's in your own integrity to do something like that, then don't. So your advice is really to trust yourself, trust your morals, trust your ethics and your beliefs, trust the knowledge that you've um, unlocked by this point in your journey, that you know how to seek out proper support in your life. So literally anything you find yourself attracted to, go that direction. So we're going to get advice for your person now. General advice for just what they should be doing right now. Virgo, the Empress. Curiosity, progress, perfection, beauty, and order. To me, this is saying that what they are doing is focusing on their finances, focusing on their health. They're really trying to heal physically. And this is their advice in general. But I'm also still getting, like, with the curiosity and progress card, that it's spirit is trying to tell them not to, like, neglect this area of their life, because that is still a part of their life. Like, they need to be incorporating all aspects to their life. But the Empress is a very nurturing energy. So this is saying that your person's advice is to be more nurturing and understanding, and to make that well organized in their life. Of course, it's important to put yourself first, but part of being a nurturing being is still having being an open person. And the Nine of Wands to me is someone who is closed off. So I'm getting that their advice in general is to open up and to get curious about what would be some productive choices in their lives. I feel like you are a productive choice because there's love there and there's physical support in some way, whether it's finances or whatever, health. You might have really healthy foods and they might not be eating as healthy on their own. This is also telling them, like, to work on, to not drop the ball on that, and even on their own to especially keep building those healthy habits. So it doesn't necessarily have to be with you, but their advice in general is to take care of themselves. And I feel like some of them are not doing that, or they're trying to, but it's not working or it's not working that well, very effectively, because they're closed off with the Nine of Wands there. They're doing some healing work, but they keep neglecting other healing work, specifically the healing work in the area of love and romance. So what's their advice in terms of working things out with this connection with you? It's the Eight of Wands, that they've been really holding on to letting the energy out and expressing how they really feel, to really dedicating their time and energy to this connection. So their advice is to do that. Their advice is to let the past go and to communicate and to put energy forward, to stop with the stagnant energy and to take action quickly. So it's not, their advice for them is not about taking more time. Their advice for them about this connection is that they need to move forward. They need to take action in some form, and it needs to be clear. It needs to be clear to the universe. Therefore, you, since you are a part of the universe, like, their message of what they want out of this connection needs to be clear and direct, and they need to get that out there as their advice. So that's what I have for you, reading number one. Yeah, that's pretty heavy, I think. But these types of readings, readings with separation and whatnot involved, oftentimes are. But I do think there's some sort of hope for those of you who chose reading one in terms of this situation. But the message sort of came out pretty clear that you have many options here, and even though there's maybe a chance with this person, that right now is the time for you to leave it be as just one of your many options and to explore your other options. And if this person gets lucky with the timing of things and finally comes forward, hooray. But if they take too long, they took too long then. So I feel like you've got someone coming in for you if you continue to meet new people. If you put yourself out there and keep going towards people you're attracted to, um, either you're going to find some really cool connections and get some very nice experiences in the world of love and romance and find your way back to this person, or rather, this person will finally come forward, or you'll really hit it off with one of these connections, and that other person, this person that you went for this reading about, is going to miss their opportunity, or they're going to make it even more complicated by showing up after you've chosen another person, and then you'll have to weigh out those ethics all over again. And I feel like some of you are worried about that. But I'm just getting, like, you got to do it. You have to live your life, Like, you can't let someone who isn't even willing to commit to you right now hold you back from trying to find someone who's actually willing to commit to you. Because as much as this connection is very important to you, reading number one, like, you still deserve love and someone who values you and appreciates you in the present moment. And if that happened and you met that person and then this person from reading one came back or whatever and you really wanted to work things out, that new connection, they really love and respect you. They will understand that you actually have unfinished business with reading that with this person that you got or reading about, and that like they'll understand that your heart belongs to that person or whatever, or that your heart calls out still to work through things and see or whatever. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, one way or another, even if this gets more complicated and messy, if this person from reading one were to ever come back and you really felt a shift and you really wanted to try again, and you feel like, even though it's basically too late, but that you can still change your own mind, any other new people that you've met involved will either A, be understanding, or B, they won't be, and they'll suddenly vanish, which will show that they weren't that invested in you after all, you know? So trust your ethics on this one, reading number one, and I think everything's going to turn out just fine. And yeah, I do think there's some of you with reading one that, like, if you believe in this person, like truly do, and you have a lot of history and you kind of just know these cycles, then, trust yourself and still live your life. Do what you want to do that makes you happy. All right, so that's what I have for you, reading one. Take care. That was, wow, very, very long. All right, reading number two. So I had no idea that was going to be so long. So we'll see how this one goes. So first, we're going to look into how you're feeling about this person and how they feel about you. And then, as well as some energy that's causing conflict or causing this separation in the first place on both ends. So how you feel about this person is the Page of Swords and the Seven of Swords. So reading two, I'm getting like you don't feel like speaking to this person. You feel like you've got a lot on your mind and that you've like got a very specific focus in your life right now, and that you just don't want to share what's happening in your world is kind of what I'm getting. You're like being very secretive about your energy, about who you share information with, and you're being careful. Some of you, how you feel about this person, if it's a new connection, is mostly being careful. But if this is a connection that you've been hurt by before, you're definitely like just scared pretty much of being hurt again, and you're hiding. And yeah, so reading two, it's going to really depend on your situation about all of this. But the Page of Swords with the Seven of Swords, to me, says that perhaps how you're feeling about this situation might not be from the highest vibration. You might really be missing the bigger picture here, because the bigger picture would be the Queen or King of Swords. The Page and Knight of Swords have a lot of understanding over the situation, enough where they know how to like make action happen with their day and not get stuck in the process of things, but that like they're still stuck in their own loop of needing to grow a step farther. Like the Page needs to grow into the knight needs to grow into the Queen and King. So yeah, that's how I'm getting, is how you're feeling about this person. A lot of you are guarded and not wanting to share how you think about them. And yeah, this person's obviously still on your mind, since you're here watching this reading. So obviously you still think about this person, and you do think about what you could say to them to like change the circumstances, but you also just don't know yet. As the Page of Swords, you're still figuring things out. You don't really know what you want to tell this person. All right, how they feel about you. Four of Cups, So far, they're feeling like you're a legitimate offer, like spirit keeps offering to them, either through signs and synchronicities or literally through you. But I feel like Page of Swords and Seven of Swords, some of you are really not speaking to this person. Others of you, you are communicating, but you're keeping certain pieces of information away from them, or you're not showing them how much stuff you really have put together at this point on your journey. So it's like they keep assuming that like you'll always be there, but really I feel like the universe is kind of trying to tell them to step up and take this cup before it fades away, because this timeline is unstable and is constantly shifting in a new direction. And the longer they take, the more they could miss out on their chance with you, because you're literally the Page of Swords with the Seven of Swords. You're like living your life and you're not really telling them about it. So I feel like you're really figuring things out, reading number 2. And some of you might be able to meet new people at this time. Some of you have been speaking to new people at this time and finding people who are really actually interested in you. So, yeah. And that's what your person's not seeing, and how they feel about you is like feeling like not taking this offer because they're still upset. They're still pouting, and they assume you're always going to be there. With the Queen of Wands, they also feel like it's unfair because you're too powerful for them. They're like, this person's too strong. They're too OP. Like, it's it's not fair. Like, you know? So, in some ways, their energy is disrespectful because they're not just coming forward and like showing their respect to you. But in other ways, they like really see your worth, even though they're not treating you or respecting you in that regard, because they see you as the Queen of Wands. They really see you as this powerful, independent, like open-hearted person that really speaks up like clearly what you want, and you go for what you want, and they know that you don't stop going for what you want. And I think at most they just assume that all you want now is them. Some of them might really be thinking of that. Some of them might be aware that like you're so strong and that like you're gonna keep meeting people. And um but how they feel about you is that like that you'll choose them at the end. So they're like, I can take my time on this. So some of them like this perpetual state or cycle that you're in. And I feel like either they're gonna have to grow through that and kind of process enough to realize that they could really mess things up and lose this kind of connection or this opportunity to transform this energy. I'd call this a very toxic situation overall, personally. Um, and I don't really think that's your fault, reading number 2. I feel like it's just the entire situation, the environment, whatever it was. Like, I'm not blaming anyone specifically, but yeah, it's like this. I think the fact that this person would like to keep things in this perpetual state of like nothing happening, where you're always holding out the offer and they're assuming it's always going to be there, and they're not taking it because they're like pouting and they don't feel like it. They don't feel like they have the energy, or they don't have it in them. They're not happy with the outcome. They're too disappointed by how things went before, which things didn't really go that bad before, because before was the 3 of Cups. There was friendship at least. There was communication at least before. I don't understand how they don't see how this is worse, how lack of communication is worse, how more separation is worse. Like, I don't get how they don't see that, but generally they're too busy looking on the downside and being disappointed that they got rejected by you, or that they faced something heavy where things didn't go perfectly in their life. And so they're really hurt. And they do feel like you are a Queen of Wands, though, that you're a queen. They really feel like that you're more mature than them. They pretty much know this. Um, and so some of them might be feeling down on themselves and feel like you deserve so much more. In many ways, I just simply tend to agree. However, love is love, and people can grow. And it's like, to me, immaturity is more so a mindset. That's how I feel about myself. I mean, I'm a Pisces though, so I'm literally the 12th and final sign. Not every single Pisces is actually going to be a true Piscean person or whatever, because people at the end of the day can choose whoever they want to be. But generally, if you're aligning with the Piscean energy as a Pisces, then yeah, you pretty much just are mature, so to speak. So many of you could be like a mature sign. You could be a Pisces, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, um, and or many of you, you've just been on the journey a lot, and you know where you're at, but you've put in the work, because again, I believe maturity is a mindset. Oh, that's why I was talking about myself in the Pisces thing, like, because it's like, okay, maybe it's just me who thinks that, but no, like, generally, I do think being mature is a mindset. Like, I've seen people who are like, you know, an early sign, so to speak, like Aries or Gemini, be a mature person. You don't have to just end up being one of the last four signs to be mature. And there are people who end up being one of the last four signs and still end up being very immature people who, are very much invested in their shadowy side and being unbalanced and misrepresenting their own zodiac sign, not aligning with the actual stars and the benefits of lining up with literal solar energy. Like, I don't understand why. Sorry, I'm just like, why not? Like, why not try and align with the cosmos? To me, it's just like, that just benefits you if you do that, because then it's like, obviously the universe is working because everything's in a form of alignment with itself, everything's moving in a flow. The interesting thing about humans and life on earth is our ability of free will. We are not fixated to go in an endless swirl like all the planets, stars, um, earth itself, and moons and so forth. Everything is orbiting, right? And it's just like a clock. There's no other option. But humans, we have the free will to go any which way. And as much as that's a good thing, it's like, at the same time, if we aligned with everything else that seems to be working and seems to be quite peaceful with that flow, the universe, like, could be good. So yeah, I'm feeling how this person feels about you is that, like, they obviously have internal respect for you. Like, they have deep love for you. They see you as um, someone who's worth everything. But if they can't heal through realizing that they can change their mindset and level up and be on your level and value themselves the same way you value yourself and stuff, they won't be able to value you how you deserve to be valued. So, like, I'm just getting this person is very much so undervaluing you, even though deep down they know your worth. So they're like self-sabotaging, even though at the end of it all, if they weren't so hurt and maybe petty or um, unwilling to cooperate, like, things could really work out, and that can be really frustrating to hear. But to me, this is what reading 2 is saying. And I feel like all these readings are kind of going to go similarly, because to me, there's patterns in life. Everyone's situation's differently. Everyone's is different. Sorry, everyone's situation's different. Everyone's reasons for being in their circumstance of either separation or this or that is gonna be different. But generally, there tends to be patterns that happens in life. So, anyways, let's get what's causing this separation or conflict or lack of meeting from this person. And also, for those of you who are single, in the sense that you've never met someone, or that, like, you didn't choose this reading about a person, but about, like, wanting to meet a person and you haven't met anyone yet, then what I'm getting instead is this is their attitude about life. that they know that there's really good people out there deep down, but because of what they've experienced so far, they feel like it's too good to be true. Some of them, they don't even believe you exist. They think it's just the universe messing with them or making fun of them, trying to get their hopes up so that when they put in the effort, they'll realize that they were kidding themselves to think that they could ever be worthy of love. So they don't listen to the universe because they're like, you're lying. And that's really, really sad. And now I'm seeing why they think that this is better, why they would prefer to not do anything. It's because some of them really think like this real offer that's there, they're like, you're lying, universe. There's no real offer. You're just making fun of me. No one loves me. That's how down some of these people are on themselves. Yeah. And then in that group of people, for you, how you feel about this person is that it's like you see people that you're attracted to, or you feel maybe a connection and you want to see how things go, but then you're like too shy and you are too unsure if you can trust reaching out or opening yourself up to the world. So some of you are very closed off, and I'm seeing how that's a similar vibration to this energy. And I think there's nothing wrong with that crowd of people for this exact energy I'm reading about. Earlier, you guys probably could tell I was getting pretty heated about whoever I was reading up on. But that's not everyone. Again, this is a general reading, so it's always really hard to tell the vibe since there's many different people that this could be applying to. Anyways, for you, what's causing this separation or lack of meeting, if you've never met a person basically in a romance setting, we'll just kind of read it both ways. For you, the sun, positivity, intensity, passion, and fearless initiative. So for whatever reason, this card is what's causing a separation here. And I'm not sure why. I think what it is that, again, you're burning so much brighter than how this person feels about themselves. And when they see you doing well, they almost just dim their light more. They're like, they don't need me. See, they keep doing better and better. That's proof they don't need me. So that's for those of you where this is about that person that you know. For those of you who've never met someone, what's causing stuff right now is that maybe you need to take fearless initiative and you've been struggling to do that. Or you're not being receptive to other people doing that. If you're always the one taking initiative and you hit it off with people, but then like it's always just you, it's like there's a lesson here about being receptive. But mostly I'm getting, for those of you who haven't met someone, it's mostly about needing fearless initiative, um, and feeling that intensity and passion and choosing to go with it. So it's like some of you either haven't felt that passion with anyone yet, or when you do feel a real crush or passion or spark, that you don't act on it. That's my intuition about that. But that's for the crowd of you who like haven't met someone yet. Um, that like it's okay to, like, some of you, yeah, it's about like needing to take charge here. Some of you are like, if it's meant to be, the universe will like make them talk to me. But it's like sometimes we've got to take steps of our own. So that's a bit of a message for those of you out there. But for a lot of you, it's just that you're simply already, it's that you're not causing the separation or anything. You're just shining so brightly that the way this person's energy is going to respond to that is going to repel. And you should not change yourself for this person. I'm going to pull some advice cards, but I already just know that, yeah, don't change yourself for anyone. Like, I mean, it's important to be willing to make compromises and changes, and adjustments, and to grow if it's for the better for yourself and your loved ones. If these people really matter to you, and that everyone's really trying here to really meet with everyone's boundaries, wants, and needs. That's just love, you know? But like, yeah, like in terms of changing positive things about you, dimming yourself down for other, like, no, you know? So, anyways, what is causing separation on this person's end? And we're getting the King of Swords. So you both get very big positive cards, very powerful energies. So I'm getting like, yeah, there's a big crowd of you out there that like what's causing it is like not being decisive enough. For you, it's mostly like you're really shy, I guess, or you're just so intense and confident a lot of the time, or like shining so brightly that like again this person like feels like they have a lot of growing to do. But this card says silent observation, subtleties, and opportune timing. This person keeps waiting and waiting and waiting, and that's causing separation more. They're waiting for the perfect moment to finally get up and take action and to like take an opportunity here with you. And that's causing separation more because they're not being very decisive, is just kind of what I'm getting there. And then again, for you with your card, I'm going to clarify your card actually, because I'm just not as sure. So clarifying the Sun here. I mean, it says Scorpius, so I'm getting like some of you, yeah, are just not communicating the truth. That's a little bit of a message, but yeah, what is causing maybe separation on your end or creating this like resistance with this like connection? The Chariot, fearless initiative is just kind of like what comes back to mind in this. You're not moving forward at this time, or let me clarify that again. The Six of Swords. You're not waiting for this person. You're so charging ahead that you're basically moving on and this person is feeling left behind. It's like this person keeps waiting and waiting as you get farther and farther away because you keep moving forward with your journey, which is positive for you. So some of you reading too, this person might just have to learn the tough way that when they don't do anything and watch someone that they love walk away, you're not even really walking away. You're moving forward. I feel like you still are receptive to their energy. They just continue to view the situation negatively. I just feel like reading two, you can't be trapped by one single connection. You believe in free love and that you're actually like moving forward. So you're kind of like separating from this person, and it's basically a good thing for you. And there's a real possibility of you and this person working out if that's what any of you out there want. But it's really the ball's in their court, and that's what's causing the separation here for you, which is that there's nothing you can do to stop this separation. That's what I'm getting. Like, it's not on you what happens in this connection, because as much as you might have to grow more, you're growing already. You're well on your way. You're doing what you need to do here. So, yeah. Wow. So let's get advice for you, and then just in general for um, your situation in love. And then we're going to get advice for those of you who are wanting specifically to try and work things out with this person. So if you're not trying to work things out with this person, you can take that advice however it resonates. Like if it's about a new person then. But yeah, your advice in general is the Justice card. Doing what's right. This kind of came through in reading number 1, Aquarius. Social justice, radical effort, and rebellion. Yeah, this is saying like you got to really value yourself and like know your worth, know that you need to do what's right for you. So you might be fair in a sense to this person, but I'm getting you're going to be fair to everybody. Like if this person's not willing to come forward, you're like, I am willing to see other people who are willing to come forward. So again, this person's like, there's a real chance that they're going to miss out on an opportunity with you because you're going to find someone who's actually willing to put in effort and be on your vibration. So what's your advice in terms of working things out? We got the 7 of Cups, basically waiting, response, impermanence, and anticipation. Your advice in terms of the situation is that like it's going to be uncomfortable and challenging for you emotionally, and to keep working through that, you're probably going to the only thing you can do is try. Basically, there's nothing you can do specifically other than try when it comes to the connection. You can't go wrong. Any decision you make, because you're going to be trying to do what's right from the side of justice, whether that's like expressing that you want to work things out, whether all of a sudden it's like expressing that you're hurt, whether it's like you're like, I'm just hurt waiting for a response, I'm not going to reach out. Wherever you're out at with your situation with this person, if you want things to work out with this person, I'm just getting like basically don't give up on the person, even though this is really painful and challenging, and that might lead to still needing to give up, because this is all basically saying it's gonna be you're basically you're like not forcing it, but you're going for it. There's a very specific scene from this TV show where someone's like basically they're not trying to sacrifice themselves, but they're going somewhere dangerous, telling the antagonist to let everyone go. And as they're telling them that unarmed, they get like attacked and shot at and stuff like that, and end up like this character. And as it's happening, they keep saying with determination, like, let them go. Like, they're not trying to put themselves in harm's way, but they're just doing what's right because they're trying to save like everyone involved, their friends or whatever. And sure, it ends really badly, but shortly right after it ends badly, they like re-scene. So I'm just kind of getting like, if you just like be vulnerable with your heart and you just, like nothing stops you from like loving the person and showing love no matter the pain you're going through, that is your advice for what might help with this situation. That's for those of you who trust this person like that. If that's not your person, this is talking about in love. Like this, your advice for coming together with love then, for those of you who don't want to come together with whoever this reading was about, but with like someone really at your vibration, this is saying like no matter how many dates you might have had to go through that were like lousy dates, keep putting the coin in the universe machine, this universe slot machine of love and life, like you might notice a progression. Each date might all suck, but each one will have something sort of better than the last. And eventually things will come together if you don't give up. So let's see the advice in general for your person of what they should be doing right now. And then we'll do advice for them on what they should do in terms of really about this situation of like coming together, like if they want to work things out with you. So first, their advice in general is the 8 of Swords. Their advice in general is that they need to free themselves from their their self-inflicted, their harmful self-thoughts or whatever. You get what I'm trying to say. The 8 of Swords, these are like thoughts where they only end up trapping themselves and hurting themselves. So it's like their advice in general is that they need to free themselves from this energy. They should know that they can free themselves from this energy at any time. It's just a matter of how many times do they need to go through the same loop in their mind until they realize that they've been trapped in a loop. And some of them realize they're trapped in a loop and it's causing more and more pain, and that might make it even harder for them, and that they just fall more into the cycle. And that's really difficult to break out of, but this is like their advice, telling them that like they can break out of it. They just need to actually observe the situation internally and kind of just think like, is this really healthy for myself? Like what I'm doing here. So I'm just getting like their advice is to really work on themselves mentally, their thoughts, and see why do their thoughts convince them that they're trapped and that they're helpless and that they're only going to get hurt. They really need to analyze that and to figure out that sort of puzzle within themselves. And then their advice in terms of working things out, we've got the Knight of Wands here. Adaptability, adjustments, camouflage. I was talking about being willing to make changes and adjustments. This person really needs to go a new direction here. They need to not get pushed back by all of the bigger energy in the world telling them to go a certain way. When they fall into earthly norms, basically, what everyone else is doing, that sets them back with this connection. So they need to ignore bad advice. They need to ignore the outer world and what like normal people do to handle a situation. Because what normal people do to handle a situation is they just get in line, they put armor on themselves, they don't even think for themselves, and they just follow orders. And that's quote unquote normal. So they need to think for themselves, is their advice for your situation. And they need to actually like move forward and make some changes, and that they need to just get away from all of these energies in the world that tell them to just get in line with what the world thinks. So I feel like they're in a toxic environment, a lot of them, and that they just need to get out of that toxic environment. And that has a lot to do with their Eight of Swords energy. In fact, I really don't know why trap yourself there. It doesn't make sense to me. But everyone has their own journey, and there's a reason for everything, is what I really believe. So yeah, I feel like let's just kind of get like an outcome, like most likely to happen with this person. We get the World, the Phoenix card, transformation, reinvention, and legacy. So I do feel like they're going to transform and really ascend from this energy. I think they're going to break the cycle and get out of this maybe once and for all. So for those of you who are willing to wait for this person, I'm getting you're going to keep moving forward on your journey. But for those of you who are willing to move forward and still hold space and love and keep figuring your stuff out on how to be positive about this situation, how to like still have passion and love about this situation, which that can be a hard thing, or for some of you just not doable. That's understandable. But for those of you who really want to make this work and feel like it could work, this is like just reminding you like, hey, this person has been through this cycle before with you, and they've figured it out before. They'll figure it out again, you know? So I'm kind of like getting like the outcome is like very likely that they can figure it out. So try to believe in this person, but also move forward at this time and don't let this person hold you back from experiencing things. Take this as a good thing. The fact that you're free from the connection as of now and basically single, that means you're free to experience some things that you haven't gotten to experience with other connections. You can have a love life outside of this one connection right now. So I know it really sucks because it's like, sure, those can be fun, but then you're like, ultimately, I don't care about all that. I really do just want to be with this person. I don't know. I feel like that's going to teach you certain lessons within yourself about what you feel held down by. The Queen of Wands. There's like this internal energy between the Devil and the Queen of Wands cards where you're like, am I doing stuff out of like self-worth, or am I doing stuff out of like shadow work, shadow energy, where it's like I'm not actually doing the healthy thing, but I think I am. Like some of you are really doubting that, and like let's just get some card for you on that situation there. The Star, be more hopeful about yourself on that. See it more positively. Like those of you who are trying to be healthy, try not to view your own circumstance so negatively. For those of you who are like trying to move forward and meet new people, and then you're like, what's wrong with me? Why am I going on these things? Like, does that make me superficial? Does that make me that? Does it make me this? Like, this is saying like, no, you just deserve and require attention, touch, affection, love, pleasure, whatever it is, and that those are not bad things. And it's time to destigmatize the concept that seeking pleasure in this world is a bad thing. It's not. In fact, that's how we survive in this world and how we enjoy it. That literally is what pleasure is. Pleasure, enjoyment, like, you know? So it's so sad to me that in this world, like, when we think about like just going off of passion, that makes us whatever, quote unquote, to this world, if that makes sense. So that's what I have for you, reading number 2. Another long one I see. So lots of love, and I hope that was helpful. Take care. All right, reading number 3. So let's see how this one goes. Each one seems to be about 30 minutes long. So we're going to look into how you feel about your person, how your person feels about you, as well as what might be causing this separation or resistance towards meeting each other, whatever it may be for your circumstance, on both ends. So how you feel about your person is the Ace of Pentacles. So you really want a new beginning with this person. You really want to take a chance on this connection and really start fresh. Ace of Swords, you know this. This isn't, you're not confused. You're not going back and forth. Maybe you're sure, but you're also doing other things. You're like, this isn't the one and only opportunity for me. But in terms of how you feel about this person, you do feel like, yeah, if this person stepped up, you would absolutely give them an offer and communicate with them like what you could do, and that you could deliver to them certain ideas and thoughts that show that this is a real possibility here, that you could really thrive. So you feel a lot more optimistic about this connection, about it working, reading number 3. Others of you, this is like for being single and stuff, that you know that you want to meet someone, that you know that you're ready for love. How this person feels about you. 10 of Wands, 3 of Swords. Oh, they are really hurting over you. Or for those of you who've never met this person, they are really trying to get over their past. They're really heartbroken from either from their ex or from multiple connections in life, from life itself. For those of you who know this connection in general, they're very hurt, heartbroken from you. You really broke this person's heart, some of you, for reading number 3. Um, and I would say, and vice versa. But they're the one who's very, very actually heartbroken in the sense that they genuinely have given up. Whereas you may be heartbroken, but you're like, also though, as much as I'm heartbroken, this doesn't have to be over. Like, this could still work. Like, you know, you're like, this doesn't have to be that painful and that bad. And for this person, how they feel is that it is that painful and it's that bad. They are that hurt. That's really, really sad, for that person. But yeah, that's how they're feeling about you. They're feeling like they haven't moved on. They can't really let this go, this pain. So if any of you are wondering if this person's just moved on from you, or that they don't care about you anymore, that's not what I'm getting for this reading. I'm getting that like they really have not moved on from you, that they're still really hurting over this situation. So yeah. And yeah, that was actually really, really quick on how you're both feeling about each other. So that either resonates or it doesn't. On your end, what is causing this separation or resistance towards meeting a new person? Queen of Swords, powerful ally, loyalty, and honor. To me, this is like saying like, I feel like this is on the other person's end, that like what's causing it is that this other person is not very loyal right now. They're not being very honorable. They're not being a true friend or a good ally. And that's what it is. Some of you, this could be your energy, but I really feel like it's not. I feel like most of you listening in on reading 3, that it's about this person, or you know who or both, you know which person basically it is that's not being very honorable, that's not being a very supportive person. Yeah. And so how is this on your end that's causing this separation? The Comet card, some of you, it's that you're refusing to put in extra effort towards this person right now. You're unwilling to go forward. It's like, so some of you, it's like you could be a powerful ally at this time. You could be very loyal and honorable when it comes to this connection or when it comes to putting yourself out there, but you're choosing not to move forward at this time with this connection or with love. So that's what I'm getting for some of you. Like some of you, you're waiting for the right time. It's like you'll put some energy, but each time it's like delays or like nothing happens. Like you'll wish upon a star and nothing happens, or you'll download an app and try to meet people, but you don't click with anyone. It's like anytime that you do try, it just feels like fate is like saying that this connection is not ready yet. And that's because, yeah, they're not. So I'm just getting on your end that there's basically nothing that you're doing that's causing it. It's the universe that's like causing it right now. You're doing fine pretty much. Some of you though, it could be your own unwillingness to be communicative and to be decisive and to show that you want this new beginning. But I feel like the vast majority of you are being communicative and decisive, and that it's just that like the universe is holding you back right now, telling you to wait because this person's going to come in for you at the right time, even though that's frustrating. So some of you, the advice is probably going to be like live your life and do your thing. But anyways, what is causing separation on this person's end? We've got the Five of Pentacles, which is a separation card. It's a card of going at it alone. This person really pushed you out into the cold or vice versa. That's just what the Five of Pentacles is about. This person really chose this separation here, and that's what caused the separation. This person did. This person's lack of efforts, labor is the key word here. We're going to clarify their card. We get the Five of Pentacles and the Five of Cups. This is a very hurt person with a lot of deep issues. So what's causing separation on this person's end is that they've got very complicated emotional issues that cause them to prefer or choose a separation over coming together with you. And like that's like from deep-rooted trauma, from fear, self-doubt. This person doesn't feel like they have anything to offer, maybe. This person doesn't feel very worthy of all the labor that you've put into this situation, all the effort that you've put into this connection. This person's not in a very receptive mood. This person needs to be willing to work together. And that's what's causing separation or a lack of meeting on their end. They're not not in a place where they can put in that effort because they are really, really wounded deeply. If they weren't so deeply wounded, they probably would be able to come forward and to make steps right now. What I'm getting with the Ten of Wands and with these fives, 5 is a number of change. It's very uncomfortable, challenging change, but it brings towards harmony. So I'm getting this person's very close to going through a change, and that shift could be just the shift that you were looking for. So some of you, what's holding you back from stepping away and meeting new people or completely moving on entirely is that there is a possibility that they might go through some sort of rapid transformation rather soon. But yeah. So let's just get advice for you in general, and then advice for if you are wanting to come together with this person or with a love connection and of like just in general too. So your advice for you right now, just of how to deal with this situation, just for the sake of yourself, whether or not it's about coming together, but just for yourself. Neptune, trust your intuition, your awareness, and then the keyword foresight. So we get the Neptune card. This is saying to listen to your emotions here right now at this time on your journey. So listen to how you're feeling. If you're seeking love and connection, don't stop pursuing love and connection. So that means whether or not you're able to pursue this person, keep pursuing love itself. That's your advice in general. Now, your advice about coming together with this person, working things out with this person specifically, your advice in that regard is the Ten of Cups, rejuvenation, fulfillment in marriage, coming together. So that's like to pour your heart into this soul connection, to express how you feel, that you're with all certainty that you want to be together, or that you love this person, and that you choose this person. And I feel like some of you with Neptune there, it's like that that's not really how you're feeling. So I feel like your advice is more so just the Neptune card. I think your advice is probably to avoid this idealism of coming together with this person. I'm getting like, if you were that certain, which I'd say it's kind of impossible to be, if this person's going to handle the situation so poorly that just like you've already been through this cycle where you've accepted them as they are and chosen to drop everything and tell them that you choose to be with them completely. And then they'll be like, oh, okay. Some of you have been through that. And I'm just getting like, you've been through that enough now where you know that it would work. But I feel like your advice overall is that this time around, it has to be up to the other person, which is very difficult because this is going to moment of truth. Are they gonna do the right thing, or are they gonna lose a really good thing here? So let's get their advice in general at this time. It's probably gonna be another healing card is what I think. They really need to heal this Three of Swords energy, and they really need to let go of the past and let go of what's happened to them. So their advice is the Ace of Pentacles. They got 3 cards: the Ace of Pentacles, Dark Matter, and the Ace of Swords. That's really interesting because you got those cards. Not necessarily Dark Matter. That card doesn't exist in this deck, but you got the Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Swords. And they got the Ace of Pentacles, then Dark Matter, and then the Ace of Swords. So this is, to me, saying that their advice is that they need to take up this new opportunity at this time without knowing the outcome. They have to do this without seeing what's ahead. Trust, like going into the unknown, to really take a chance here again, to really transform. I feel like their advice is to heal, of course, to transcend past this shadow work, this dark matter, this karma that they're experiencing. They really need to evolve past it and heal through this energy and really be receptive to new beginnings. And the fact that they got the Ace of Pentacles and Ace of Swords is, to me, this is saying that this person's specific advice is to make things right with you. I feel like this person really did you wrong here and chose a very shadowy approach to ending this situation. And they need to really work on that and make things right. That's their advice in general. So I'm curious what their advice is specifically for you, for working things out with you and like coming together. We get the is this the Queen? The Queen of Pentacles. Yeah. Solidarity, community, and devotion. Their advice towards about you is to, similar to that Ten of Cups, is to really commit to you and to be loyal and be that ally, be that true friend, stand strong in solidarity. Like, they can't just keep switching sides. Oh, I'm on your side, and oh, never mind, actually, you don't matter. And like, oh, I'll be there for you no matter what. Wink, wink. They probably don't wink, but I'm just like, sure you are. It's like, I don't know, because it's like they'll say like they're on your side no matter what, they'll be there for you no matter what, but then all of a sudden they abandon ship and they abandon you and they leave, you know? That's for those of you who resonate with that. Going back to this situation of those of you who have yet to meet this person, again, they are deeply wounded and they need to heal. And their advice is to transcend that healing, even though they cannot see at this time that you are out there. For those of you who've never met each other, you've never met this person, or you don't know each other's identity or existence, like, again, their advice is to still heal through their trauma and trust, even though they can't see that their person, which is you, exists. Because this card says unseen forces at work. So again, it's one, the other, or both of these messages that I've been telling. And then for those of you where it's about that, where you've never met this person, their advice, again, is like to be devoted to love, unconditional love, and like knowing that no matter where they're at right now, that they're to be able to see that they are at a very healthy place in their life and that they deserve love and that they don't have to grow more to be worthy of love. So this is telling them to like prioritize love and incorporate it into their healing journey, into their world of the 3D, of finances, of accepting someone as a part of their community, you know. So they need to be more receptive to letting new people into their community. And then again, for those of you where it's more so this person you have a lot of history with, it's like they need to stop switching sides. Notice how my energy just like switched. I'm like, this person. So again, general reading, a lot of different kinds of people could be out there. So this is about, you know, depending on you, the viewer. And a final piece of advice for them: Five of Swords and the 10 of Pentacles. Or the 8 of Pentacles. They got a bunch of fives. We got so many aces, and then we got a bunch of fives here. They got the 5 of Cups with first they got the 5 of Pentacles, the 5 of Cups, and now they have the 5 of Swords. This is their advice with you. And this one says risk analysis, structural stability, and foundation. This is saying that they need to work on their mental stability and that they need to progress right now with this. They need to push forward all these fives, these challenging energies, and they need to move towards peace. They need to move on from this dark situation or narrative or story in their life right now. They really need to transcend this energy, scarcity mindset, and like feeling alone, and really push through that and put in some of the conscious effort or take some physical steps to get help and to get connected with real connections. So to me, this is saying that they need to reach out, whether it be to you specifically or to real loved ones or to whoever they need to reach out to get the help that they need. But yeah, that's what I'm getting for reading 3. This person, their advice to coming back together with you specifically or to work things out with you is like, yeah, they really need to step up here as the Queen of Pentacles. I see the Star card and the King of Pentacles. So like, yeah, they should be more healing. They need to bring healing into this and to let go of their pain and to feel it. I feel like a lot of them are numbing and choosing not to feel all of this pain or to not open up about it is what they're doing, and they need to move forward. And that their advice is to also to take their time, like to not rush their own healing. So we can't rush this person is what I'm getting. And if you feel like bringing in a lot of healing energy, you might be able to sort of speed up things in a way. Let's kind of like get a clarification on that. The Five of Wands. We got all fives now. Yeah, now you're in conflict with this person because you know you both technically want the same thing, yet you're at conflict, and that's really upsetting to you, and it feels unnecessary. And so you get the Page of Wands, and you also get the King of Wands. So to you, it's like this brings you misleading messages where you're like, should I just see what's out there and meet new people, or should I get even stronger and really put in more energy to manifest this union with this person? I feel like you're going to do a bit of both. So to me, I'm getting like you should take your time with this situation as well. And I feel like if you both take your own time, I feel like your energy is a lot faster and this person's energy is a lot slower. It might actually create a balance here that might actually work out for you in the end. So that's what I have for you, reading number 3. I hope that was a good reading. I am sending so much love to everybody out there. And we're stopping this video at 3:09, which is really, really cool. I'm just typing in the timestamps. And yeah, that's your reading. Okay, cool. Yeah, I hope, once again, that this was a good reading. And yeah. Talk to you all later. And good luck with this situation. I do hope this was helpful. Each reading, very, very similar ones. I feel like many of you listening, that for those of you who really feel like making things work with this connection, that there's hope for all of you. Because I don't know, I'm an optimist about love. I believe in love. But I also believe in moving forward and finding love at any point on the journey. And in some ways that's like caused some of my conflicts in my relationships, but in other ways it's like it's because I'm right. But yeah. All right. Take care, everybody. And yeah, seriously, take care of yourselves. All right. Bye-bye. Wait a second. I need to make this public now. Okay. Bye-bye.